Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome to another video. Hope you guys are doing well. Today, in this video, we're going to be doing the Mistweaver. How good are they? So, Mistweaver is a spec that has had very few, or has multiple iterations over the years. From pure fist weaving, just massive raid pumping heals, to a ranged kind of single target channel focused healer, to what is now a very hot based healer, almost one of the most hot based healers, aside from maybe Resto Druid. We're experiencing kind of, like I said, fist weaving with a focus on maintaining hots. All in all, it's quite very fast paced, does good damage, it's complex, and I'd argue it's one of the most fun healers, but it's not necessarily one of the most relaxing. So let's get into it. Let's talk about fun. Mistweaver at the moment, when I've played Priest, I've played Holy and Disc, I've played Chamois, I've played Preservation of Ochre. Mistweaver is easily the most complex I've played. And that, like I said, that includes not doing any reading up on Preservation of Ochre and being encountered with Echo for the first time. Mistweaver still takes the cake. But in its complexity, the animations look amazing. The healing feels good, and the playstyle is actually fun and fulfilling when it's done correctly. I have a feeling it's one of those specs that if things are going bad and you can't get that recovery, or it just feels like it's just out of reach, it can probably feel quite bad quite quickly. I like that it requires a lot of concentration, and it's a good and a bad thing. I like the fact that it's quite engaging, but sometimes it's you want a nice relaxed healer, and Mistweaver just isn't that for me. So in terms of viability, we'll look at raid first. So in Mythic raids, Mistweaver is the lowest represented healer class on Warcraft logs, although it is slightly higher represented than Holy Priests. Um, Obviously, Priest has Holy and Disc, but as a class for healing, Mistweaver is the lowest represented. But they're actually third overall in performance. So if played well and you can work around that complexity, they seem to be incredibly viable. In Heroic, things tell quite a similar story, with Mistweaver once again being the lowest represented healer class, only being beaten by Disc in terms of spec representation, and still coming fourth in the performance rankings. So again, performing very well. In Mythic Plus, Mistweaver accounts for the lowest representation of healers across all Mythic Plus keys. That's crazy. And you have to lose over a 300 rating for them to be seen in high end keys. So, all in all, they are playable, and they seem to have some kind of niche representation, but they don't seem to be the flavor of the month for healers in Mythic Plus. So, for Raid, I'm going to say it's a 7 out of 10. For Dungeons, it's a 5. Overall, I'm going to say they're a 6 out of 10 currently. Variants. In terms of raiding, there is a raid healing build and a cleave healing build. Both have their strengths and weaknesses and would be used depending on different bosses. In Vault, there's kind of only one or two bosses that you might use the cleave one. Every other time you're going to use a raid healing build. There's slight conversions you can make in the build between the two different, I'm going to say aspects. It's not aspects. The Celestials, Yulon and Shiji. In Mythic Plus, the build changes quite drastically from the raid build, to you kind of applying and keeping multiple hots on the entire group and maintaining them with fist weaving. Overall, it's quite different play styles, but both very fun, and yeah, I think it's quite good. So I'm going to give them an 8 out of 10 for variants. Overall, that's a 20 out of 30, with its viability currently letting it down in dungeons. Um, but yeah, I think it's actually very good. I think it's one of the only healers I've played so far where it doesn't seem to have a relaxed mode, right? Priest or I mean, Disc Priest is a prime example. If you want to be lazy, you can just apply your shields with, apply your atonements with Radiance and DPS, and that's pretty much going to get you through, like, to the 80 percentile. Like, you're not going to be healing the best keys like that, but you can do low keys like that happily. Whereas as a Mistweaver, it feels like outside of kind of Phaline Stomp and Spinning Crane Kick, if that's not enough to keep people alive, you may as well be doing your normal rotation. So yeah, I think that's kind of my opinions. Let me know what you guys think if you have played it, or if you're looking at playing it or interested. Let me know in the comments below. Thanks for watching, guys, and catch you later. Goodbye.